Hey everyone, and welcome to Isms by Josie. Today I'm going to be doing another Crafter's Square kit that I got from the Dollar Tree. For my returning subscribers, thank you so much for tuning in. And for my new viewers, please consider subscribing, share, hit that like button, leave a comment below, and click on that notification bell for future videos. So today, you guys, I was going to be doing another felt flower kit, but I had to do this one. This is one of the first kits that I purchased that wasn't crochet about a couple months ago, and I got it because it will be the monogram for my family's last name, and my hubby's birthday actually is coming up this weekend, so I wanted to finish this one in homage to our last name, which, secret, I have legally changed to. Yeah, it's only been 4 years later, but better late than never. But so I'm gonna do this today. It's a monogram cross stitch kit. Let's see, and I guess these are the available ones, I'm assuming. I have not. Every Dollar Tree is different, and I feel like you never see these things as you go there and expect them to be. It's always a hit or miss. So I'm assuming they come with these letters. So if you have a name that is a letter that you need that's not here, don't be too worried, because even if you went to your closest Dollar Tree, you may not even find any of these, you guys, and they're not on their website yet. So, on the back it says the contents: 1 plastic design base, 1 plastic needle, 1 instruction sheet M through Z. Interesting, I wonder what that means. 3 threads. And then we have our steps 1 through 4, both illustrated and written. So we're going to go through that. But what I want to do now is just open this up and see the actual contents of this kit. I've always wanted to do cross stitching. You know, my family has done this as a hobby in the past, and they come up with these beautiful like pictures, and I always wish that I can do that myself, and I'm actually getting into it. I have this from the Dollar Tree. I actually have several kits that I got from Barbie G222. Check her videos out. She does PR for some cross-stitch companies. So if you are already someone that likes to do cross-stitching or interested, definitely check her videos out, because those kits come with everything, and they're a little bit more elaborate than this letter M. I know, because I bought several kits from the company she's doing PR for, and their images, you guys, are just so beautiful. You cannot, I mean, I cannot collect them all. Alright, so let us flip this over. Okay, so here is what was on top. So this, you guys, is going to be the pattern, and and it's like a plastic canvas. So the kits that I have is a real canvas, and they actually print the image on here, so there's not really any question of, you know, what you're doing or counting where you need to go. But this is going to be a learning curve here. This is, what's this? Don't tell me this is your needle. Oh my gosh, people, are you serious with this right now? Okay, well, this is their needle. There's a little bit of that plastic. They just injected it in a dye, because you can see the fringe. And I've noticed that in their crochet kits, some of them have like a flimsy needle, and it does have like stuff in the eye hole. So it's like, oh, how are you gonna stuff the yarn? And the yarn is a lot thicker than embroidery floss. But here you have your embroidery floss. I do love these colors, by the way. I love black, I love green, and you know, the combo with pink is nice. It's not red, but you know, pink flower. Alright, and my phone is going off. Okay. And then here are the multiple patterns. So again, I guess this is for what they have available. I guess they must pick like whatchamacallit, the most popular letters maybe, which is insane because are there letters that start with Q? I mean, you could pick a T maybe, an L, but they had to have that Q in there, so it's M, N, O, P, oh, they went in order, Q, R, S. Well, I guess there's multiple kits that have different letter ranges. Let's just hope that, because if they decided to pick random letters, they should have probably picked letters that are common. And I don't know. There's only one person that comes to mind that I went to school with in grammar school. Okay, so we have this. That started with the Q. I just interrupted myself. Anyway, so we have this instruction: separate the 6-strand floss into 6 individual strands. Are you serial? So we're actually going to be doing 1 strand? No. No way. Wow. Alright, so what that means, you guys, the kit that I'm doing is smaller than this. And I am using 2 strands, but they want you to use 1. So when you take this embroidery floss and you kind of unravel it or try to separate the threading, that's what they're talking about. So you see this? There's 6 in here, and they want you to separate 1 out of this whole group. So you're actually going to be sewing with the 1 strand. That's just too tiny. Like I said, the one that I have, and it's a much larger canvas, but they are smaller holes, and I have 2 strands. And that made it look nice. So, yeah, I don't know. Okay. Separate the 6-strand floss into 6 individual strands. To separate out a strand, hold the floss with one hand and pinch the end of one strand with the other. Gently and slowly pull the strand up, and only pull 1 strand at a time. Pulling multiple strands may cause the floss to knot. Okay, so what I'm finding out is that these illustrations do not coincide with the number steps, so 1 does not equal 1. Alright, thread your needle with 2 strands. Oh, now it's telling you to thread your needle with 2 strands. Okay, at least they have you doing 2 strands, and make a knot at the tail end. Oh, is that how they're doing it? Alright, I know it says don't do it like more than 1 strand at a time, but listen, I break the rules and I just let it bite me in the butt later. But what I'm gonna do is, this is how I did it, because it's kind of rotated, it's like kind of spun in the floss. I'm just going to do this. So you just have to split it, and that way you could do more than 1 at a time. You just have to make sure it's going to start curling. You just want to loosen up the curls. You just want to keep unraveling it like this. And you have to twist it as you're separating it. And so just a heads up, cross stitching is a wonderful hobby if you have a lot of time on your hands. It's very time consuming, a lot of quiet time. I mean, you can listen and watch TV and stuff, but like as far as things happening around you, you probably don't need that. Okay. Because real kits have real needles. This one doesn't, so this one's not a big deal. Plus it's a lot shorter, so it's really not that big of a deal, I think. But this is a great starter, especially if you mess it up, because we'll see. The one that I'm working on is my first one ever, so this one here will be my second, and I have no idea what I'm doing. I try to look at the instructions, and you know, I'm not a cross stitcher, so I don't already know, if that makes any sense. Like when I do the crocheting, I already know how to crochet, so I can kind of just fill in the gaps, but I know nothing of cross stitching. So yeah, so these are the 2 strands. It says to thread your needle with the 2 strands and don't make a knot in the tail end. Okay. It sucks because I don't know what it means by thread. And I'll show you what I'm talking about, because you'll be like, what do you mean? What do you mean you don't know? Thread the needle. But, however, the way that I do it in my other kit, I just make a knot here and call it a day. Now when they thread your needle, are you supposed to like double it up and make it 4 strands? So that's the issue. Let's just assume they want you to keep the 2 strands. I'm just gonna tie it here. It says do not make a knot at the end. Okay, I'll listen. But this comes out when you're pulling the thread. That's why I like to do 1 loose knot. But I'll listen. I will listen. Alright. Start stitching from the back side of the fabric. It's not even fabric, but okay. And bring your needle up through the hole toward the front. You will cover the tail with your stitches as you work to secure it. Stitching the strand and make an X on the fabric. Okay, let me see here. Keep stitching until the design is complete. On the back of side of the fabric, pass the needle under the last 3 completed stitches to secure the thread. Trim the remaining thread and be careful not to cut it too loose. Okay, so it seems like it's got all these like other things going on here, which is confusing because it says to make an X on the fabric, which would be this stuff, but yeah, I don't know. So I'm just gonna make X's. Comment below if you're a cross stitcher and you're like, that's not how we do it. But anyway, I'm gonna try starting at the bottom right side. So here's what I'm talking about. You gotta count these things. So from the bottom, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then over 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and over 3. Okay. So we're going to stick our first one in. 4, 5, 6, 7. Is that 7? 3, 6. Okay. So I'm just going to make an X. Wow, this is very thin. Okay, so it says you're going to secure it, the tail end, by stitching over it. So for making another X, so I had it go up here and then up here. So in the back, I'm going to go into the box next to it so I can make that X. Do you see there? So while holding down this end, because I need it to secure, and it's not. How do you do that, buddy? Alright, I guess you gotta do more than one. But yeah, let's finish this X. So we got our first X. Two, and we're just counting this. So if this is an X, this is an X, this is an X, this is an X, so I have to do 1, 2, 3 more X's. So let's try to keep the same motion. So since we put the needle up this bottom right corner, so doing another X, we're going to start at the bottom right corner. You want to keep your stitching the same and uniform, because in the light you'll be able to see if you switch it up. I mean, this is a dark color, so maybe not, but it's always nice to keep it similar. Let me see, I'm just double checking here. I feel like I screwed up. So let's say, example, we did this first X. It's telling us to put it in the same hole, but it's telling us to do this. This is why you don't say stitching the strand and make an X on the fabric, because it seems like you do like diagonals and then you come back in with the X's and it looks like they're overlapping. Okay, so then let's just undo this. Let's take this back under. Let's not make our X's yet. Oopsies. Okay, I'm just gonna undo the X. And then we're going to do diagonals like the instructions say. We'll do the diagonals first. Okay. So just so if we do diagonals starting down here, so we have to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have to do 6 more. So like it shows here, it's pretty much doing the next hole is how they're doing it, if you can see that. Okay, so I'm going to go up right to this next one here. Right here, you see where that needle came up? Right next to the one we did. We're just going to do diagonals all the way down 6 times. And then of course we are going to be sealing that end by stitches. Okay. That's 2. Make sure your thread isn't knotting. 3. Four. 5. 6. Okay. And then let's just double check that it's 6 more. So we did the 1 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, and then we're going to be going down here. Oh, and there's a glare. We'll be doing this one next. Okay. So now we're just going to do the X part. I still have my thread here. I could go back around with the thread and flatten it out and just go over it again. Yeah, let's try that. Okay, so I'm going up from down here, like it right there, that bottom corner, and I'm just gonna cross these back across. Okay, so I'm back and I finished the M. I have this much black floss left. I think it had 2 black, and I have 1 left over. And this much left of the 2 strands. And actually, if you have the crochet kits, you can use this to do the faces, by the way. And I'm going to save this too, because I need this needle. And we use 2 strands again, if you don't remember. It's been an hour. And I think we could have gone 3 strands, because you can still see the white in between. But now I'm just going to continue doing, let's do the green. It really doesn't matter. So I'm going to grab a green, and they give you 1 of these. They give you 1 green and 1 pink, so you won't have much left over. You might, well, actually you might. So now we're going to split up 2 strands, and like I said, it tells you to do 1 at a time, but if you're careful, you can do 2. Okay, split that out. I'm just gonna keep this for now. And then I'm gonna thread up 2 strands of green. And this needle, as flimsy as it looks, it actually is not that bad for this project, because the way the eye hole is, when you put tension pulling the thread, the eye hole kind of contracts, and it keeps the thread in place, so you don't have to tie it. It just gets stuck in there. So I like that. Okay, so now let's try this guy here. And you just gotta kind of count the squares so it's above this foot of the M. Oh man, gotta get it out of the light. Okay, so it's 2 up from the leg and 3 over from the corner, or 4 over from the leg. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then up 2. Okay, 1, 2, we're coming up here. Oops. Okay. It's right about here. Alright. So now I'm gonna do, we're gonna hold the end right down the squares. Try to get it like lined up with the line if possible. And then we're going to, so this is kind of stepping up towards the leg. So I'm going to do this. Just like that. And then I'm going to go up 3 times. So we're going to do this 3 times. So meanwhile, you're kind of wrapping around that excess piece, so it's going to keep it in place. Okay. So after I do this 3, I gotta go back down to do an X. So we're going to go back in here, and we're going to make the X down this way. And that's pretty much like the full square you get here. Now, let's see. Okay, from here we gotta do a diagonal again. So let's go up through here. I'm gonna go back in here. And we're going to go up 3 again. So again, we're going to do a cross. Okay. And then, so we have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So that's this. I gotta make a diagonal up here. So we'll be sticking the needle up here and up here. So like that. Now, this is so see-through-y. If you have canvas, you don't have to worry about this. I feel like not having to cut it and put it up this way. But that you'll see it. There's just no way to hide it. I can try hiding it behind here, but it's not a canvas. You can't sew it in. So we're just gonna have to cut it, I guess. But in the meanwhile, I'm just gonna tie it. I tied the M in the back because they tell you to put the needle into the last 3 completed stitches, but if you see here, it's tight. Like, you can't put a flimsy needle under these stitches. There's just no way. So I'm just gonna try, I cut like tying this, even though it's so tiny. But yeah, by tucking under 3 stitches, it's supposed to secure it, and you can just cut it way shorter than I have here with the knots. But yeah, I'm not that skilled, at least not with hard plastic. Cut this off. So now I'm going to move up and go to the next green area. But we're going to separate the pink out now. I think there are 3 other kits of cross stitching. No, I think there's 6 actually. So I'm gonna, there's 6 big ones, and I think they do have more round ones of images, so I'm gonna be doing that for you guys. Keep this pink. I'm going to thread the 2 strands. So let's start with the bottom. Okay. Cross it. Actually, I don't like that. Okay, so here is the finished picture. What do you think? Close enough? Well, here is my monogram to my new last name, and just for giggles, I'm gonna throw this into his birthday present, and I think it's gonna be real funny. But our last name started the same letter anyway, so it works out. Because my logo, as you know, is JBM, and I did that way before I even knew him, so I'm glad I don't have to change my logo. So there you have it, you guys. If there's any other Crafter Square kits or any other kits that you would like for me to try out, go ahead to my about section and email me your requests. or you could always leave a comment below and I will add your request to my list. If you are joined in my membership, requests do take priority, so you can always do that. Anyway, overall I think this was kind of cute at the end. They did give you enough, and this needle was baller. I am gonna save this just in case. I mean, as far as the plastic canvas goes, I mean, they could have used the fabric, because it's like the plastic makes it hard for you to do what they're telling you to do, to kind of sew it in the stitches, like, because the grid is so deep that you can't really stick your needle through a stitch. It's kind of sunken in, so if you're supposed to do 3 stitches in a row, that's really impossible. But anyway, alright you guys, thank you so much for watching me today. This is Isms by Josie. Please share, like, and subscribe for future videos. And join me again. I've got plenty of other Crafters Square videos coming up, as well as my nail videos. I do have a collaboration coming up next Saturday, so you're not going to want to miss that. And I'll see you again next time. Thanks. Bye.